Welcome to the FantasyFootballFirst.com podcast.
Let's be great. Let's be great.
Where we'll hang out and discuss all things fantasy football.
Go rock this thing, huh? Love you, man. Go get it.
We'll give our best fantasy advice, predictions, insights, and more.
Play our game. All right? Play hard, but stay poised. Get it done.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. The show starts with Devin, Rick, and Quinn right now.
And 3, and 2, and 1, and welcome, Fantasy First fans. How is it going on this beautiful Friday evening or Saturday morning, depending on when you're watching this video?
Yeah.
We are -1 again today. Of course, we may be -1 here or there for future videos. We've had a few people tell us how awesome we are, and they want to see just duos every now and again, and so we're taking that advice. That's you guys responding to us, and we're listening. So, with that being said, our cohort Quinn is he's got schoolwork to do. He's college bound for firefighting, and he's got to do what he's got to do. So, he's on a Friday night studying. Crazy, huh? But me and Devski here are here to give you the goods of our Week 7 Stardom Situm peeps. So, how are you tonight, Dev?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Yeah.
Ready to help the people?
Ready to help.
All right. Well, then why don't we roll with you then of our quarterback start?
Quarterback start. I had a little bit of a reach.
I love reaches.
Kyle Allen.
Oh, that is a little bit of a reach, huh?
It is.
Okay.
I had Kyle Allen predicted before the season started when we did our rankings as a top 15 quarterback.
That's right. We called him crazy.
Yeah.
Of course, he looked crazy early on, but now that, he believed that Haskins sucked royal eggs, and he did suck royal eggs, now he's back in the good graces of his wisdom.
Yeah. Adding on to that, I had Kyle Allen predicted a top 15.
Yep.
Knowing that Haskins was going to be given at the most 4 weeks and Kyle Allen was going to be stepped in, I nailed it.
Ding, 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 ding. This is a prediction meister here.
Yeah. Kyle Allen, he's going against Dallas right now, so that's a very soft defense.
Ew.
I also expect Antonio Gibson to do very well. He's not really my stardom, but definitely an honorable mention right there.
Yep.
It's just going to be a blow-up. He almost got 300 yards last week. I just expect a bigger game this week.
I like it. He's got some talented wide receivers, so, he should have another good game, especially against that soft Dallas defense. Wow.
Yeah.
Very good. I like it. I've got Matt Stafford, who hasn't had some very good weeks lately, but this is the week I believe he gets healthy. He's going to Atlanta, which you might think is, that might not be so good on the road, but it is his dome, and he loves domes. He plays well in domes. Of course, Atlanta gives up yardage for days to almost every quarterback.
Yeah.
So being Matt Stafford is a good quarterback, I think that he should have a healthy game and do well.
Yeah. And also, everybody's healthy.
Yeah, that is nice, finally. It's weird having teams that are fully healthy.
Yeah.
So, all right, sits. I'll do my sit first then.
All right.
I've got a one that you might not think of, and a lot of people have him high, but I'm sitting Cam. If you look at his stats, he's really good at running the ball, but he's been not so good at throwing the ball. 3 out of 4 games, he's averaged 158 yards passing per game. Yes, that's a total per game, 158. Terrible. Last week versus Denver, he had another stinker. He ran the ball okay, but he didn't throw very well. And this week they're facing San Francisco, who I think is a step up above Denver, and I think he's going to really struggle and have a difficult time finding the running space as well. So if you got a couple quarterbacks to choose from, I would choose the one opposite of Cam. You, Debbie?
It's funny you say opposite of Cam because my setup is Garoppolo.
Okay, nice. Don't play any quarterbacks in this game. So what's your reasoning?
New England has been shutting down tight ends the entire year.
Right.
And George Kittle's their best target.
Yeah.
On top of that, Mostert and Tevin Coleman are out. They have Jerick McKinnon, and they're leaning toward a guy named Hasty.
Yeah.
I can see Deebo Samuel doing very well, but everybody else, I just can't see.
Yeah, that defense is pretty good, so it's going to be tough to go into New England and do some damage. Even though this is kind of a redemption game for Garoppolo. He's coming back, and maybe there'll be a little extra motivation there. Not that these guys need motivation or anything, but you never know. Just that feeling of warm fuzzies. He could do something. All right, let's move on to running backs.
All right.
Go ahead and give us your stardom on the running back
My
sector.
stardom is Kareem Hunt.
I went almost in that direction.
Yeah.
Go for it. Let's hear it.
Ooh, the whole team just did not look good last week.
No.
I think they're going to try to redeem themselves from last week, and they're going against Cincinnati, which is
Redeemable.
anybody can go off against Cincinnati.
Yeah, if I remember right, I think they had like the 6th worst run defense, so that bodes
Yeah.
well. And after 2 poor games from Kareem Hunt, this is definitely a get-right game, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, ever since Nick Chubb has been injured, Kareem Hunt's carries has actually been going up a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's definitely a plus.
I like it. All right. I'm
do you
going to
got?
go with Justin Jackson.
Ooh.
Waiver wire from the last couple of weeks we've been telling you to pick up. This week he's got a soft Jacksonville defense.
Yeah.
They've been letting running backs have 96 yards or more per game. Anyone right now going against Jacksonville is just looking gravy. And Justin Jackson is a good running back. I
Yeah.
mean, I've always referred to him as Austin Eckler light. So with that being said, I don't expect crazy numbers, but if you need that 80, 90 yards and a touchdown, I think you'll be in that zone. So start him
I
with
hope
confidence.
so. I have him in my
Yeah, you
lineup.
picked. I saw you picked him up in one league. So
Yeah.
Yep, very good. All right, who's your sit?
My sit is Josh Jacobs.
Oh yeah, Yee. Let's hear it.
All right. That offensive line has been dealing with COVID testing all week. They're in the 5-day quarantine right now. They could be cleared Sunday morning, but that's pretty much no practice all week.
Yeah.
So their offensive line is pretty much busted for this whole game, regardless if they test positive or not. And they're going against Tampa Bay, which in every single game has never allowed more than 100 rushing yards.
Yeah, they're
To the-
beefy.
rushing
Beefy
yards
up front,
for the
yeah.
entire team, not
Yeah.
single running back.
Yeah, I like it. That's a good one. I almost
Yeah.
went there as well, but I chose Chris Carson as my sit of the week. They're playing Arizona, who's played pretty good against the run lately. They've only allowed 2 total TDs on the year to running backs.
Yep.
And I just like the momentum that Arizona has right now. Not that Seattle doesn't, but they were on a bye. I think it's going to be more of a passing game, and they're going to get a lot more yards through the air. So I don't look for Chris Carson to do his usual damage, but we'll see. I mean, obviously, somebody who has Kareem Hunt or Chris Carson, you're likely going to play them, but we're letting you know these are people you don't want to predict as high as you normally would. And if you've got 2 people you're trying to weigh out, should I play this guy or this guy? We give you these so you can maybe lean towards that other person.
Yeah.
So we're not definitely saying just sit these players. We're saying use some common sense. And if you've got a couple of options and you can lean one way or the other, and one of these guys we're telling to sit, maybe just go in the other direction and choose that other guy for your lineup. So
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to our wide receiver starts. I will start it off with Tyler Boyd. He's had
Okay.
fairly quiet last couple of weeks. I mean, it's not been terrible, but no burst out games. And they're playing Cleveland this week, who has been pretty bad against the pass. They've allowed 9 touchdowns to the wide receiver position, and they're ranked 27th against the pass. So
Yeah.
I see Tyler Boyd having a good game. You probably have a couple receivers on that team have a good team, but I think Tyler Boyd is going to be one of those receivers. So who's your start?
My starting wide receiver is Marvin Jones.
Marvelous Marvin.
Yeah.
I just traded him away in a league.
Ooh. Well,
Just now, before this podcast.
Really?
So let's hear it. Actually, it looks like they have a good matchup, but let's hear it.
Well, I mean, Marvin Jones was definitely predicted to be a high-end wide receiver in your draft initially. I mean, there's just a lot of reasons why that offense has not really lit it up. But they're going against Atlanta.
Yeah.
I expect Marvin Jones to come back to where he was the past couple years and be that touchdown-heavy guy.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I mean, my start of the week at quarterback throws to his start of the week wide receiver, and, magic happens.
I like it.
Yeah, so who's your sit?
My sit is Jameson Crowder.
Yeah. That's Quinn's
Yeah.
favorite wide receiver.
He loves him so much.
He loves him. He said he wasn't going to mention him anymore, so we'll go ahead and mention it for him. This one's for you, Quinn. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, he's dealing with a groin injury right now.
The groin injury.
Yeah, he's questionable for Sunday's game. Initially, they said that he was going to be limited for Sunday, so I really wouldn't expect a lot of targets from him. On top of that, they're going against Buffalo. I just don't see a lot from Jameson Crowder this week.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. My sit is a little crazy, but it's going to be Will Fuller of Houston.
That is
going up
crazy.
against Green Bay. Everybody thinks that's crazy, but
Yeah.
he's going against a tough cornerback in Jair Alexander.
Okay.
Now, the only caveat to this is if some weird reason happens that Jair is going and traveling with Cooks, then just go ahead and disregard everything I'm saying.
Okay.
But
Okay.
the plan is for Alexander to cover Fuller. And the last 2 weeks, Alexander's covered Julio Jones and Mike Evans. The total receptions for both those receivers was 5 and a total of 42 yards. Not good. He's been shutting people down all year, top
Yeah.
wide receivers. So I don't see Fuller doing that well, and I see the opposite of that doing well. So if Alexander's on Fuller, which I predict, then I think Brandon Cooks has a really good game.
You sold me.
Yes.
Sit
Am I
with
selling
Fuller.
you guys, though? In the comments down below, go ahead and write if you're sold or not. Just write sold or unsold. That's it. Comments down below, sold, unsold. We want to hear. All right, on to our tight ends.
All right, why don't you start us off? What'd you start him?
My stardom this week, I kind of dug down. Tight end's been a mishmash this year.
Yeah.
I thought there's going to be a lot of really good options, and instead of there's been a really lot of mediocre options where you have to pick and choose. So this week, I think Eric Ebron from Pittsburgh has a pretty good matchup. They're going against Tennessee. I think it's going to be in a fairly high-scoring game, and I believe Ebron gets a touchdown in this game. If you are looking for a tight end, he's on the waiver wire in a lot of leagues too. Go for it. One other note is that Tennessee has allowed 4 touchdowns in the last 5 games to tight ends. So, there is that and a chance for him to get his touchdown and several catches. I mean, Ben's looked his way. He's gotten some targets. He just hasn't connected. So I think this could be the week.
Yeah.
All right.
I like it. My stardom is going to be Jared Cook.
I love it. Yes.
Woo! In case you don't know, they have a bet.
Yeah, me and Quinn have a bet.
Yeah, so he kind of needs this.
Yes, I'm not that far behind. Quinn's got Tyler Higbee, and I've got Jared Cook, just for the most total points. We'll see what happens, but I'd like to see a good Cook game. You got more to add to that before we went on to that tangent?
I mean, it's just a relatively soft offense against Carolina, and Michael Thomas is out.
You know who else is out? I heard Emmanuel Sanders is not going to be playing. There's another pickup for you too, either Cook, which he could be available, or the wide receiver
Traquan Smith.
Those guys could be good pickups. Both of them are probably on your waiver wires since they haven't done much the last few weeks. But
Yeah.
anyway, on to our sits.
All right, what do you got?
My sit is Hayden Hurst, Atlanta Falcons. Detroit's been really good against the tight end, and Atlanta's got all their weapons back, Julio, Ridley, and Gage, for the first time in a while. So I believe the wide receivers are going to be happy, and the tight end is going to be sad.
I actually like that.
All right.
I like that.
And you?
I like it because I have Hayden Hurst.
Yeah, we connected on one. We do these obviously on our own. We do our research stats, pull it up, and then we come together. And every now and again, we have some matchup, and we finally got one matchup tonight.
Yeah.
So you got some stuff to add to that then?
I mean, Detroit has
Suffered. Suffocated.
they've allowed 35 yards to tight ends every single year, 35 yards or less. So I mean, I just don't see Hayden Hurst doing it well. And also, Julio Jones is back, and the last time Julio Jones was back, week 1 and last week, Hayden Hurst didn't do well at all.
He's going to get favored. I mean, there's so many targets to go around, and unfortunately, I think Hurst is the extra targets, and when there aren't extra targets, I think he's going to suffer. So
He's being started in 40% of leagues right now. So
sit him.
bench. Get Eric Ebron.
Yeah.
Or Jared Cook.
That's right. So those are start sits for week 7. We appreciate you guys watching. If you guys need some other start sit help, write it in the comments below. We're happy to help. We'll answer questions and get back to you just as quick as we can. If you could do us a favor and like the video, that helps us grow our channel. We'd really appreciate that. And if you want to see more videos like this, we do a couple every week, sometimes 3. But we've got the Start Sit video on Fridays. We've got a waiver wire pickup on Mondays. And then we have special episodes on Wednesdays here or there.
Yeah.
But if you want to hear more episodes, click on the subscribe and pop on the notifications. That'll allow these to get to you as quick as you can.
Yep.
You can read them up, do what you need to do with them. But once again, we appreciate you watching. And the most important thing to remember is to
Finish first.
Thank you for listening to the FantasyFootballFirst.com podcast.
Jackson throws complete. Crabtree has it for a touchdown.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Get more fantasy info and check us out at FantasyFootballFirst.com.